Hey folks, Predatory Lender here with your day trade of the day with a very special episode, how to lose 97% of your account in a single week. Well, last week, Memorial Day week, the week heading up to it, I didn't trade on Monday, had some, took some time off, so I came back to trade on Tuesday because we haven't had a single losing Tuesday in quite a long time. So did quite well. I had a $6,000 account, because I don't like to get my option account very high. So I usually keep it under 10 grand. In the summer, I like to lower it down to about 6 grand, which is, less than 5 to 10% of all my accounts because I have a large bond portfolio. But anywho, my 6 grand, made like 2 grand here, so that's a decent percentage. Then on Wednesday, I had a little bit of sell up here, or run up here, and I made some money. So in these 2 days on my 6 grand account, I made like 5 grand. I was like, holy shit, this is great. I sold right at the high of the day. So I'm feeling good, made about 5 grand on a 6 grand account. So I'm gonna go to breakfast. Go to breakfast, come back around this time, say, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take advantage of this little run up here. Okay, I do. And that's when everything goes down for me. So what do? I keep adding to a bad position. I start, getting into calls, I don't know, somewhere in this level, and I added to the position roughly 4 times. Normally I don't add to positions, but I made so much money on this test. So what if I lose? I made so much money Monday and Tuesday. What if, I get back 5 grand, big whoop. I make $100 this week, big whoop. Well, I added 4 times to the position, and look what happened. So here's what happened. See, Monday and Tuesday, good, nice percentage returns, doing quite well. Had some carryovers, and then this was a busted spread trade, so kind of ignore these because you see the positions are here. Bought them or sold them at one price, bought them back at a penny. This was a partial fill, so I later avved into this. So that's why you see some big percentage returns, even though the dollar returns are kind of small. But here's the important lesson here. Look at all my trade size. Normally, under normal circumstances, a $5,000 account can make you $3,000 to $5,000 a week. But I did the bonehead play. I was doing quite successful, feeling good with myself. So a $5,000 trade, made decent percent, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5, and then look, you're right here, $17,000 bought. That's what I paid for it, and I sold it here for less than $6,000. So I lost $11,000. That's 97% of my $6,000. My week with all these winners ended up losing 5 grand. That's, ignore these numbers because it's based off of that, but my 6 grand account lost, 5,000, 5,700. That's 97% of my original 6,000. So this is what happens to you when you average into a losing position. I kept buying into a position even though it was going against me, and I did it 4 times. This loss should not have been more than 2 grand, and it just destroyed me. So this is the lesson for everyone. I'm gonna be okay. I'm still up about 79% year to date. My high for the year was 172%. So I'm gonna have to sell some of my bonds. So as part of some of my risk management strategies, I like to, as I make profits, I take the profits out every week and I put them into bonds. So because I was stupid and I put all my money into one trade, and I used margin to do so, I blew my entire 6 grand account. So now I have to sell some bonds so I can start work next week, and hopefully you guys will learn when using margin when trading. Margin's great for you because options you can make a year's return in a day. Look at this, 18%. 14% on Tuesday. 6%, 7%. These are months returns. 17%. Thursday. This is a trade in just a short time on Thursday. 17%. What is my worst one? 5%, 2%. You can make a year's return with options, but if you use leverage on an already leveraged bet, I mean, it can wipe your account out. I lost 97% of my account. So that's your lesson. Don't average into a bad position. I mean, look at what happened. I was successful. I made a ton of money. I sold at the high of the day, and I kept going. Another thing, lesson, with the Hit the Bid chat room, where I'm giving out some of my live trading tips on what I'm doing. Jefferson says to stop trading, somewhere around 11 o'clock New York. Well, I like to close my trading out around the European time, which is 11:30 New York, 8:30 California. And I might have to go back to only trading 2 or 3 hours a day, and that's what made me 172% of my money, at the high of the year, and I blew it all this week, So I'm thinking the way to go is not trade after Europe, or just trade the morning, because the volume comes out. So I'm just pretty upset because I was stupid and lost 97% of my money. So don't average into a bad position, because and don't use margin on options, because that's my lesson. Hopefully you guys can learn from it. But just remember, options involve risk. You can make big money, you can lose big money. So just learn from my mistakes. So this is the Predatory Lender saying, happy hunting, and don't lose your head when investing. Ha ha ha.